presents high school wrestling tonight. It's the District 29 Finals with John Coach. Let's get this right. I'm John Mondelli and Coach. We're getting right into action here. 189 pounds, and we see a pretty good athlete out there for West Deptford, Jimmy Owens.
Absolutely, Jimmy Owens, who was a standout in the football field. Missed all of last year with wrestling, while Ricky McIlvain wrestled last year from Pittman, and he was a district champion last year. So it's quite a challenge for McIlvain to repeat and for Owens to go after his first district title.
And Coach, one of the great things about high school wrestling in this tournament is during the year we kind of key on a lot of the great dual meets during the season. So now we get a chance to see some of these kids whose maybe their teams weren't as strong during the year, but they're pretty impressive wrestlers.
Very, very impressive. There's been some great wrestling during the course of the tournament. You see McIlvain going right in. He means business.
And I think he was very impressive, Coach, in his semifinal match against Bussey of Paulsboro.
Very, very impressive. He got here by being the #1 seed. He had a forfeit win the very first night. Then he had a 325 fall against Jamar Bussey of Paulsboro. Owens, the #3 seed, won 12-6 in his opening bout, and then he nipped Anthony Hughes of Clayton 6-5 in a semifinal. Jamar Bussey earned a trip to Absegami for the Region 8 tournament by winning by fall over Hughes in 136.
2-1 lead for McIlvain in again on that leg, trying to get another takedown.
McIlvain appears very, very strong to me. Oh, my.
Oh, my. Trouble.
Oh, brother. Oh, my.
49 seconds, Coach. Wow.
41 seconds.
There you see the Pittman crowd.
Unbelievable.
Now wrestling.
I was just going to say, during the weigh-ins, McIlvain looked very strong and very, very focused, and he sure showed it there in the finals.
Absolutely, really didn't get a chance. You talked about Bussey advancing with his third place finish, and he won that by a fall, and we take a look at some of the highlights of that action. But McIlvain, who lost a tough 1-0 match last year to Greenwald, comes up with the district title. Great job by McIlvain, who only has 2 losses, Coach. One to a kid from Paul VI, and of course Mac Mancuso, who's just a beast at that weight class.
Yes. And of course that pulled Pittman out of the basement of this tournament right now, because you got 6 points for that championship, 4 for first place, 2 for the fall, and Pittman now has 51 points.
And right away, Zach Greenwald of Paulsboro with a 2-0 lead with a takedown in the first 6 seconds here the first period at 2:15.
Another very focused wrestler. Russ Menudo, the longtime coach at Lenape, now retired, is the official in charge on the mat. Tom Reynolds is the assistant official.
Zach Greenwald, a district champ last year. By the way, Boj, since we're just looking at Paulsboro advancing 13 out of 14 weight classes, pretty impressive.
Very impressive, considering this year there were so many wrestlers that seemed to struggle, but many of them were out of their weight class assignments. In this tournament, all of them dropped down, and a lot of them have put in pretty very strong performances in this tournament.
Yeah, and it's funny because you see a kid like Zold who had 21 wins during the dual meet season, not even in the tournament for Paulsboro.
Right.
2-1 lead.
Greenwald was the #1 seed, got to this point with a 448 fall in the first round against Georgette of Pittman, won his semifinal 136 fall against White of Gateway. Pasidi, the #3 seed, won 8-0 in his very first match against Sneed of Clayton, won 11-4, a little bit of an upset over #2 seed Dan Garwood of Clearview, 11-4 in the semifinals. And then Garwood earned a trip to Atlantic City with an 8-3 win in the consolation bout.
Another takedown, 4-1 for Greenwald. Greenwald wrestled Pasidi back January 30th in a 17-6 decision, major decision. Paulsboro won that dual meet.
12 out of 14 #1 seeds advanced to tonight's finals. The only 2 #1 seeds that didn't make it were because of upsets. Bruce Martell, the #5 seed, actually stunned returning champion Brian Lewis by fall in the third period, and Sean Diema of Paulsboro had the other big upset when he knocked off the top seed and 2008 runner-up Donald Dennis of West Deptford 6-3.
Here Greenwald leads Pasidi. We're going to see Mike Pasidi and then his brother right after.
Yeah, the Pasidi brothers were stalwarts on the West Deptford football team in the fall. Both very good linemen.
Five seconds left here in the period. As we look at John Craig, head coach, and his assistant Vince Layton. John Craig does a terrific job with this West Deptford team since coming on board a couple years ago, Voge.
Without a doubt. You know, he's a school resource officer at West Deptford High School, and I had a chance to talk to him during the tournament, and he is very, very focused on the kids and doing what's best for the kids.
We had a chance to see John on our wrestling show. He made an appearance. Great guest. 4-1, here we go. Now it's 5-1, Greenwald.
And he really has done wonders at West Deptford with the program the last 3 years. In fact, they were the defending champion coming into this tournament. Looks like they're in a little bit of trouble in this tournament unless they get some big wins along the way. But they were trailing Paulsboro going into the championship finals by 190.5 to 219. A lot of point differential there.
And I think part of that was the semifinals for Paulsboro. I mean, they just wrestled so well and picked up a lot of big bonus points.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. So many wrestlers who were, in some eyes, marginal wrestlers to some people, came up very, very big in the quarterfinals and semifinals.
I mean, you know, Voge, take a look at Pasidi. There's a kid last year as a sophomore, 3-8. This year comes back 21-11. So it's getting some time on the varsity level last year and playing off this year with 21 wins. Just going up against a beast, though, now in Greenwald, 7-1.
Without a doubt. And Greenwald's been in the varsity lineup at Paulsboro since his freshman year. Both very accomplished football players. Greenwald for Paulsboro and, of course, Pasidi from West Deptford.
Greenwald with 71 career wins coming into this match. Of course, missed a lot of time last year with an injury.
Yes, he did. And it hurt
Oh,
Paulsboro.
look at that.
Oh, my. Here we go. Oh, brother. Oh, my. 3 minutes, 13 seconds. Time of the fall.
Please make your way. 189 place winners. Please make your way to the award platform.
And if the team title wasn't decided before that, it's very, very close to being locked up now because that's 6 more team points for Paulsboro.
And as we mentioned, Voge, Dan Garwood of Clearview, an 8-3 winner in his consolation match over Matt White as we take a look at highlights right now. So a big win for Greenwald, Pasidi second, and Garwood third.
And all 3 will compete in halves again.
Place winners at 189 pounds, third place winner from Paulsboro High School, Jamar Bussey. Second place from West Deptford High School, Jimmy Allen. And the 2009 District 29 189-pound champion from Pittman High School, Whitney McElveen.
Voge, as we see the place winners at 189, Camarado and Pasidi.
Nick Camarado, the returning champion at heavyweight for Gloucester Catholic, got a forfeit on the very first match. Took only 39 seconds to dispose of Tom Rementer of Clayton in the semifinals. Jerry Pasidi, as we mentioned earlier, quite a football player for West Deptford, won by a fall in 57 seconds against Mike Hayes of Deptford as the number 2 seed and advanced to the finals by beating the number 3 seed, Scope Savatnaya of Paulsboro. Savatnaya came back and took 3rd place with an 11-4 win over Rementer.
We'll try and get those highlights in. 30 seconds into this. Yeah, Camarado didn't waste any time in the semifinals. 39 seconds on the mat.
And that's always been on the mat so far in this tournament, 39 seconds.
On the other hand, Pasidi, Voge, in his semifinal matches, I believe he was losing going into the third or towards the end of the second. tied it, and then end up winning by fall.
Yeah, Savatnaya gave him a very good battle, but I'll tell you what, Pasidi was very impressive.
Jeff Wade and Bill Lucas in the corner for Gloucester Catholic. Takedown for Colorado.
Tom Reynolds, the official on the mat. Chris Mays, the assistant. And you notice there, when he took the man to the mat, the only thing left in bounds were the toes of Camerado. That is a takedown.
I do want to mention last year, 215 champ was Gerald Hodges of Paulsboro. Hodges actually could be wrestling this year, Voj. He placed in the state, but he's concentrating on football, correct?
Has already moved on to Penn State and is very hopeful of getting in spring practice at Penn State. If nothing else, he's getting used to the academic qualities that are needed to survive at Penn State.
We're a minute and 30 here into the first period. 2-0 lead at the heavyweight. We started at 189, so we'll end at 171. I was kind of looking forward to a Cameron Argood, maybe Jimmy Gentile final at 171. We won't see that, but we're going to see a pretty good wrestler in Smith from West Deptford anyway, Voj.
Yeah, Cameron Argood got hurt in these semifinals. He'd been hurt earlier this year and had missed a couple of matches. Had a shoulder problem. Today he hurt his other shoulder. In fact, this had a default for third place. Of course, Savatnaya, who placed third for Paulsboro, actually at the beginning of the year was the backup heavyweight to Nicky Curl, Tom Curl's brother, who got injured in the Clearview match this year and was finished for the year.
Had a chance to talk to Nicky today. He said, I'll be ready for football. Size 17 shoes, Voj, for Nick Curl.
A little bit bigger than yours.
Yeah, I think I'm like an 18 or maybe a 19 if you put both of mine together, you know? Time running out here in the period. And we go to a second period, a 2-0 lead. Nick Camerado, 28-3 coming in, Voj.
Camerado was hit with a stalling warning in that period when Pasidi got to his feet and Camerado didn't get him back right away, so a stalling warning was issued.
You know, both of these, what's funny is that we have this little sheet for these guys. Pasidi's favorite subject, English, least favorite, math, and for Camerado, it's reversed. He likes math and hates English, or least favorite. We want to use the word hate. We talked about the third place match, Voj, where the Paulsboro wrestler finishes in third. Let's take a look at some of the highlights. What was the key to that match?
Well, I think the key to that match was persistence and go afterness. Savatnaya is a much stronger heavyweight than people think. He has some good natural strength. He just lacks height, and that betrays him in some matches.
Looks like we have a little
blood timeout. Yep.
I don't see the clock. I saw the blood time clock earlier today. I don't see it moving.
Yeah,
right
it was moving, and they cut it off a little bit quicker than what they should have, I think. But right now, they're not saying the wrestler are cleaning the mat, and that's not the wrestler's fault. Well, I guess it is his fault if he bled on it.
By the way, Voj, Camerado wrestled a lot this year at 215, so
yeah,
I'm looking at his losses. Both his losses are coming at 215.
Yeah, he's not a true heavyweight. He's a light heavyweight, but he's very strong and very agile, very quick on the mat.
3 quality losses. All the wrestlers from Cumberland and Cape May, Atlantic County out down there towards the shore.
Yeah, and of course we talk about heavyweights. One of the all-time great heavyweights, Mark Reed, was here earlier today, the former West Deptford outstanding heavyweight. Of course, Howie O'Neill sitting at Matt's side. Howie O'Neill is now your director of the state tournament. He took Bob Frederick's place, and we had a chance to talk with him on the show.
Yeah, he said I was trying to ambush him with those comments about the officials. I don't think so. I was just trying to get the story out.
Hey, if you can't stand the heat, you got to get out of the kitchen.
Absolutely. 30 seconds into the second, Camerado with the 2-0 lead. Every school, there's only 8 schools this year, Voj, in District 29, but every school represented in the final with at least one wrestler.
Yes. Some nice balance, and of course we lost one school this year because Clayton and Gloucester became a co-op program.
And a couple years before that, Woodbury and Gateway.
Yes, and I think you're going to see some redistricting come out next year. Every 5 years they try and take a look at it and shuffle some teams around, and now with only 8 teams in District 29, I think you'll see some shuffling before we get into next year's wrestling season.
Still a 2-0 lead for Camarada. You see he trying to get out, get that escape, get that one big point. He's going to get it right here. It's now 2-1.
I think Pasiti gets my vote for the neatest tattoos in the tournament.
Have you been paying attention the whole tournament? You've been here the whole weekend.
I've been here the whole weekend. Fact is, I was at the weigh-ins every day, and Pasiti outweighs Camarada by about 30 pounds.
John Craig, the head coach, we mentioned it earlier. Vince Layton, his assistant. Pasiti, also a football player, as is Camarada.
Of course, with Camarada being the defending champion at this weight class, sometimes when you have a good opponent, you don't want to take an unnecessary shot out there and get caught, because if you give up 3 or 4 points on the move, it can really come back and haunt you.
There's a tie match right there. Another had a stall warning on Gloucester Catholic. That's a point. We're tied at 2.
12.3 seconds left in the second period.
Of course, his Camarada to be a little more aggressive, trying to take that shot. Now he's tying up. We go to the third, tied at 2.
Camarada will be down.
Gloucester Catholic coaching staff. Talked about them earlier. Jeff Wade and Bill Lucas.
Of course, Bill Lucas has a brother coaching this tournament as well, and Chuck Lucas from Gateway. Nice switch reversal for Camarada, trying to turf the leg.
Camarada with a 4-2 lead. Thinking West Deptford had to be feeling pretty good going into the third, being down 2-0, tying it late at 2, and then starting on the bottom. Figure, with the weight advantage, you'd be trying, squeeze out an escape. But
well, Camarada was down and got the reversal. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Now you see blood time again. And if you look up at the clock, you'll see the clock running, and the side is blinking as the blood time is being accumulated.
Almost looked like he got kicked by the official. Voj, I have in my hand, by the way.
Yes.
Somebody dropped this off in the office the other day. It's the 1958, I guess, Paulsboro yearbook, and it's a nice picture of John Vogening. There you go, Voj. I actually wearing the old sweater. Make sure everybody can see that. Remember those days, Voj?
Oh yeah.
Do you?
Had some great wrestlers in those days, some great football players.
I don't really remember my high school days, but you actually look pretty good. Or actually, there we go. Say, Voj, big difference. We should, before and after. You know what I mean? You would only if you would have saw my high school pictures. Oh, well, there you go. Nice to see you. A lot of familiar names. You look at these names of Villahas, Enos, Maiden, Barber, Haddock.
All had sons come along and wrestle.
Gattuso.
Yep.
Silvestro. I mean,
they were a championship team that year.
4-2 lead, Camarada. We go back to the center.
1:26 remaining in the bout, regulation. And of course, we saw some overtime matches in this tournament that actually went to the 32nd periods after the 1 minute overtime period.
Must have been opening night because I didn't see any in the semis. 4-2 lead. Gloucester Catholic putting 2 wrestlers in the final. West Deptford has 8. Paulsboro was 7. Paulsboro leads with 8.
Camerado doing what he has to do out there, trying to control his man. But he's got to be careful because he could get hit with stalling again.
Grab onto that leg, try and bring him right back down. There's another stall. Another point, 4-3. Now an escape will tie it.
43 seconds to go. West Deptford only trailing by 1 point.
John Craig urging on Jerry Pasidi. Pasidi, like his brother last year, well, actually, his sophomore year was 15-17, 20-13 last year. 27 wins this year, trying to pick up 28. Might have to cut him, though. At this point, they might have to cut him. Brings him right back down, though. I'd be worried with those stall calls.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
The next one's 2 or is the next one 1?
Oh, now he steps over. If he gets the leg in, he can ride him out. He's got to slip the half in, though. Make it look like he's working. Almost a parallel ride.
5 seconds left as we took a look at the West Deptford crowd urging on Pasidi. He's going to run out of time. Camarado's going to come out with a 4-3 win.
Wow. 4-3 final score. Camerado, his 2nd straight championship. That's about 10 or 11 for Gloucester Catholic in their history.
215 pounds, 3rd place winner from Clearview High School, Dan Garwood. Second place from West Deptford High School, Mike Pasidi. And your 2009 215-pound champion from Paulsboro High School, Zach Greenball. £103 from Paulsboro, Anthony Canauer. From Clearview,
That's a 14th district championship for Gloucester Catholic, folks.
And Camerado, of course, a repeater.
Right. As we get ready for 103 pounds.
Also, if anyone would like to purchase...
What do we have at 103, votes?
103 pounds, the number 1 seed is Anthony Canauer of Paulsboro. He'll be opposed by number 2 seed, Andrew G. of Clearview. Now we're opened up with a 26-second fall over Ziegler of Clayton, followed it up with a 2:19 fall over Dunn of Deptford. G advanced also with a pair of falls, winning in 122 over DeFeo of Gloucester Catholic and 133 over Anderson of Pittman.
These two wrestled back in January 16th. Canauer pinning him in 1:29.
Anderson will advance to Absagami by winning the 3rd place bout with a 350 fall over Dunn.
So takedown and a 2-0 lead for Canauer.
Canauer, another wrestler on a mission this year. He's looked very, very tough throughout the year.
First 2 years at Gloucester Catholic. Had some injuries last year with Paulsboro, right?
I believe wrist or broke a hand last year, so he missed virtually the whole season. Has worked extremely hard this year.
We'll get some back points here.
Tilt, now he's going to the fit, trying to get the figure 4 in the head. Oh my. Chris Mays, the official on the mat. Tom Reynolds, the assistant. Oh my. Great job by G, coming off his back.
Of course, Canauer had the big win that clinched that state group championship, huh, Bodes?
Came right down to the final bout, and he got a fall against Newton, which locked up Paulsboro's straight Group 1 title.
Starts a streak for Paulsboro at 1 consecutive state championships. After a run of what, 20-some?
25 consecutive years of national record. Severed last year by Collingswood.
Winning 50-50.
Paulsboro won the Colonial Championship this year. They lost to Collingswood last year. They won the South Jersey Group 1 title. They won the state Group 1 title. And today they're going to win the District 29 title.
5-0 lead after the first period. Third place match, Boge Anderson. Michael Anderson of Pittman, a winner by fall. And he advances. We take a look at some of that match. Michael Anderson over Kyle Dunn of Deptford by fall. So the top 3 advance to Absegami.
Again, if any parents wish to purchase.
Actually, that'll get underway on a Tuesday night. And then on Wednesday, the 4 survivors from Tuesday night and the 4 district champions will be seated on Wednesday and continue wrestling on Friday night.
I think they turned the heat up in this gym tonight, Boats.
Feels wonderful. Feels wonderful.
Really?
Oh, my bones are getting old.
Wow. I thought that your face, I'm just, you're not aging well, Boats. You just saw that picture. Granted, that was what, 40-some years ago, 50-some years ago, 51. Isn't that scary, Boats? 51 years.
Unbelievable.
Since I'm not even 50 yet. Second period, 5-0 lead, Canower. Another takedown.
Very methodical on the mat. And of course, the further you go in these tournaments, the district and then into the regionals, it gets tougher and tougher because there are no guppies upstream.
That's what I hear. That's what I hear. And we have a pretty good guy we're going to see next week, Delia from Delsey. Kurt Delia, who has beaten the Canower twice this year in close matches, but that kid's unbelievable as a freshman.
Oh yeah, you're going to see some top lightweights down in Absegami, down the shore.
I got my own personal assistant here making sure the monitor works.
Good. 2 more points for back points. It's now 9-0, major decision territory. Of course, you get extra points for a major decision, a technical fall, or a fall. Canower may have one of the better back tattoos.
Well, you're the expert on the ink. The ink man. You have any?
Not me.
No?
Yeah. My son, but not me. I'm afraid of needles.
There you go. Potentially dangerous. 26 seconds left in the second. 9-0 lead, Canower.
Because one of the all-time great tattoos is on Jimmy Gentile. It's on his side. You never see it because it's covered by his uniform.
Very few 103-pounders do you see, Vogue, as seniors.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Generally, they're freshmen and sophomores, and then they move up in the ranks. We saw Chuck Zeisloft, who we'll see in the next, coming up soon, competed at 103 when he was a freshman. Last 2 years at 112.
Time running out here in the second, a 9-0 lead. Anthony Canower, Coach, favorite subject, one of our favorites, physics. I know you were a big fan of physics.
Oh yeah, loved it.
National Honor Society, Key Club, Student Council.
I was in error that Zeisloft was a 3-pound district champion last year, runner-up the year before, second last year. Yeah, I like the Glee Club, except I couldn't carry a tune.
We know that. I hear you sing the anthem every event, Coach. Or try, attempt.
Nice standing switch by Canower. Working very hard for extra points. 11-0 now the score.
And I like this Bible you have here of like wrestling stuff, but it's not in alphabetical order because you go from G to P, and unless you put Paulsboro up first.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
And Paulsboro's had so many district champions. I think they had 300 and some coming into this tournament. Already a couple today.
Greenwald's the only one so far today.
Matter of time.
Well, we're probably close to one right here, Boach.
And Canower in complete control. Uh-oh, figure four in the head. Oh, my. Oh, my. Oh, brother. 5:03.
That is the 354th district champion for Paulsboro, competing in districts 4, 7, 15, 28, and 29.
Amazing.
285-pound place running. 285-pound third place winner from Paulsboro High School, Stokes Savannah. In second place from West Deptford High School, Jerry Pacitti. And your District 29 285-pound champion from Gloucester Catholic High School, Ed Cameraro. Wrestling at 112 pounds. From Gateway, Chuck Zaza.
Okay, we get ready for 112 pounds, folks. This is a rematch of last year's 103-pound final, Rappa and Zeislav.
112 pounds this year. Chuck Zaslav, the number one seed, had a forfeit win in the quarterfinals, won by a fall in 5:53 over Justin Mayer of Deptford in the semifinals. Damir Rappa, a sophomore from Paulsboro, won by a 135 fall over Daniel Gibson of West Deptford, followed up with a 351 fall over Alex Moncher of Clearview to get to this point. Mayer of Deptford claimed the third place spot with a 301 fall and will advance to the regionals.
And of course, we talked about these two wrestling last year. Zeislav winning 10-3. It was 3-2 this year, Boach, when they wrestled in the dual meet.
Yes,
Zeislav
it
winning.
was.
And there's a takedown for Rappa. Zeislav just one of two wrestlers in this tournament coming in unbeaten. Joe Duca, who we'll see next, is the other.
Yeah, it's pretty rare to go through South Jersey and get to this point in the season completely unscathed, and that's what Chuck Zeislav has done along with Duca.
Especially now with all the tournaments and everything, the competition is so much stronger.
Yes.
Escape 2-1, 1 minute in. 1984, Chuck Zeislav's dad was a district champ at 135 pounds. Zeislav with the takedown, 3-2.
And that's the determination that young Chuck Zeislav has shown us the last 3 years. He is a bulldog on the mat. Doesn't panic.
Rappa almost gets out. Zeislav, nice job bringing him right back down to the mat. Rappa almost had some back points. Got to watch.
Oh my.
Got an escape, looks like. We're tied at 3. Under 10 seconds left in the period.
Scott Jenkins, the official on the mat in charge. Russ Menudo, the assistant. I think both wrestlers have all the respect in the world for each other.
Already more points scored in this match than the last time they wrestled.
Absolutely.
3-2. Did you see that match, by the way?
Oh, yes.
What was that like? I mean, was it?
You could cut the tension with a knife.
We take a look at the brain trust. Brown and Lucas for Gateway.
Chuck Zeislav, a junior. Damir Rappa, a sophomore.
Zeislav placed 5th in the States last year. 28-4 as a freshman, 29-3 last year, 32-0 so far this year.
It's a lot of wrestling and a lot of victories.
Great job on top by Zeisloff.
Without a doubt. Covering every angle.
Like Rapa's trying to take advantage of that height advantage.
Yes.
When he's going back to the mat to reach around and try and grab onto the leg of Zeisloff.
And I think Zeisloff learned from earlier in this bout. He knows he has to lower his hips and stay back a little bit further. Don't want to get caught in a switch situation.
Look at that.
Very strong.
Textbook.
Very strong.
And the key there is just to bring them right back down to the mat so you're not hit for stalling.
Right.
Seconds left, second period.
What a great job Zeisloff is doing of covering all the angles.
If you look at Paul Marina, Dean Duca, Paulsboro's Brain Trust.
Again, trying to switch. See the balance that Zeisloff has. He feels the switch coming and knows how to counter it.
Down to 11 seconds. Tied at 3. What Zeisloff's saying right now, too bad there's not riding time.
Yes.
Excellent job. We talk about this all year, Voj, about you don't see kids riding, working on top, and there's it there. We just saw an exhibition there.
Yeah, and you have to be very, very careful because if you don't do something with it and counter right away, you could be called for stalling. He was covering every angle out there.
There's the Gateway Bleachers, Gateway in Woodbury, a co-op program. Zeisloff, a Gateway guy.
3-3 entering the third period, and Rapid will have his work cut out trying to hold Zeisloff down. Oh my. Oh my.
5-3.
Great move. Great hip movement by Zeisloff. You hear so often when we talk about hips, good hips. Zeisloff has great hips. Oh my. Oh my. Oh brother.
Gonna get at least 3. You got 3, right?
3 points. And a great job by Rapid coming off his back. 1 point escape.
8-4.
No expression whatsoever on Zeisloff's face. He's a man on a mission.
Chuck Zeisloff winning a region title last year, though. It's the first time a West Deptford wrestler won, or a Gateway wrestler won a region title since 1988. Do you know who that was?
1988.
He's in the crowd right now. He's a police officer in West Deptford.
That must be that Mark White.
That is correct. He's in the. It's in the program. One of the trivia questions.
Oh, there you are.
Come on, you got to read that book.
I've been so busy during this tournament, I haven't had a chance to concentrate on that.
There you go. Rapid got the early takedown, but since then it's been all Zeisloff.
And when you have the lead, there's a stalling warning against Zeisloff. But when you have the lead, you can afford to be careful out there. Just don't want to do anything that's going to cost you multiple points. See Zaslav get in on the leg again.
There's two for the takedown. 10-4.
Back heel trip. Standard move.
Gator Nation, Vogue. Premier Rapper wrestling this year at 112, 119, 125. Zaislov's going to win this match 3, 2, 1. It's over. Final score. Chuck Zaislov 10. Premier Rapper 4.
3 times in the finals, 2 times the champion.
Let's mention though, Vogue, Justin Mayer of Deptford won by fall over Vinny Ferretti of Clayton to finish 3rd.
And he'll represent District 29 in the Region 8 tournament.
103 pounds, third place finisher from Pittman High School, Michael Anderson. From Clearview High School, second place, Andrew Gee. And your District 29, 2009, 103-pound champion from Paulsboro High School, Anthony Pinella.
Justin Mayer of Deptford, folks, finished 3rd at 119. Just wanted to mention, or at 112, wanted to mention that, winning by fall over Vinny Ferretti. As we get to 119, the other undefeated wrestler we talked about in this tournament, Joe Duke of Paulsboro.
Joey Duke, already 2 times the district champion, advanced here with a forfeit win in his first bout. 24-second pin in the semifinals up against Paul Bachman, a number 2 seed from Deptford, with a 133 fall and an 11-2 major decision. And this may not take a whole lot of time. Duke is focused.
Yeah, Bucks, what was he, like 10 seconds to the mat? One of his matches in the against Lenape Valley in the state semifinals.
Yes.
24 seconds in the semis today, and he's right back at it now.
2 points for a near fall, so it's a 4-0 lead. Oh, he is totally focused. Shane Layton of West Deptford came back to take 3rd place with a 3-2 win over Yanni Gijafas of Gateway, and Layton will advance to the Region 8 tournament.
By the way, that win by Zaislov, the 41st in Gateway history. Of course, that's Zaislov's 2nd.
And 3rd in the family.
Yep. He's got another year left.
Well, he's been a pleasure to watch ever since he came up. Oh my, oh my. There's that prying half with the far wrist, something that Gene Mills used to take all the way to an NCAA tournament. Oh my, oh my.
There's the pin. Was that 115, 116?
112-pound place runners, please make your way to the table.
Shane Layton of West Deptford with a 3-2 win in the consolations, folks, to finish 3rd. We take a look at some of the action in his match as Joe Duca picks up another district title, his 3rd. He's got, 2 regions to go along with that.
Yep.
And how many champs for Paulsboro today?
That is the 3rd champion for Paulsboro today. They now have 237 points and virtually locked up the District 29 title.
And your District 29, 112-pound champion from Gateway High School, Chuck Zaslav. Now wrestling at 125 pounds from Paulsboro, Sean Diema, from Clayton, Nick Uva.
Because Zaslav standing on the top step, he's even with Rappo standing below him.
And as we get ready for 125 pounds, and a bit of a surprise here, the number 4 seed, Sean Diema of Paulsboro, who was a big winner in the semis, knocking off the number 1 seed, Donald Dennis of West Deptford. And he's going up against Nick Uva who knocked off the number 2 seed.
Yeah, so you have two lower-seeded wrestlers advancing. Donald Dennis, a returning champion, won by injury default over Ryan Clayton of Pittman in his first match, but then he ran into a buzzsaw in Sean Diema in his second match and lost 6-3. Nick Uva, who's been around for 4 years as a place winner in District 29, won 14-2 in his first match, 6-4 in the semifinals over Brandon DiBartolo of Gloucester Catholic. Donald Dennis came back with a 10-4 win in the consolation bout to earn a trip to Absegami.
Uva looking for the takedown. Got it. Uva finished second last year, losing at 119 to Eric Dunnett of Paulsboro.
Nick Uva is one of those wrestlers who has been here 4 consecutive years now, still looking for his first title.
Second, a third, and a second. There's Dan Antonelli, his head coach, looking on.
And of course, Nick Uva, the previous 3 times he was here as a Glassboro High School wrestler. Now they've done a co-op with Clayton.
So Clayton gets credit for the champion, correct?
Well, it's technically Clayton / Glassboro, but in the program they refer to them as Clayton.
Right. 2-1.
Diema does some really funky things out on the mat, so he has to be careful. Sometimes he exposes his back in certain situations. You got to be careful.
See their blood time. This looks like a blood. It is a blood
time.
Nick Uva, 26 wins as a freshman, 29 as a sophomore, 29 as a junior. Second, third, and second in the districts in his first 3 years. And this year he'll either be first or second. Also plays high school baseball. Diema for Paulsboro, part of the cross-country team as well as wrestling. Started off at Vineland High School, third in the districts his first year. First 2 years, third and a third. His freshman and sophomore years, this year he'll either be first or second. 70 career wins.
Yeah, I think it was third for Vineland his first year, third for Paulsboro last year.
Right. Uva has 104 career wins, went over the 100-win mark earlier on in the year. So we take a look at the crowd. Nice crowd votes. A little disappointing in the semifinals. A lot of empty seats, but building nicely for the finals. 11 seconds left here in the first period. Uva with the only takedown. It's 2-1 for Uva over Sean Diema of Paulsboro.
Yeah, a little bit surprising in the semis because usually that's some of the best wrestling in the tournament. But we have a packed house here this evening.
You know, we talk about Glassboro and Clayton combining. In attendance tonight, Voj, Al Sy, one of the all-time greats in South Jersey, great wrestling coach at Glassboro High School. Sitting behind him as we look is Nick Mitcho, the former superintendent at Glassboro, and son Nick, who used to wrestle here in the district tournament, had a great career at Glassboro. So a lot of old faces back here tonight.
And talk about some great names along the way. Al Sy coached at Glassboro, coached at Pittman, moved out to Arizona. He's been a successful coach and an administrator, member of the Gloucester County Sports Hall of Fame. Went to college in Arizona after he wrestled at Gloucester County College. He's really made a name for himself.
We're tied at 2 right here early on in the second. Diema trying to get the spin around and get the takedown. Nice job by Uva, using that quickness to fight that off.
Yep. Both guys showing a lot of quickness out there.
Diema trying to put the pressure on.
It's hard to imagine wrestlers getting to this point in the season and not being focused and determined, because this is your ticket to the next round. And of course, if you come out of here second or third, you have a much tougher road in the Region 8 tournament. See Uva trying to get on the leg, and Diema reaching over the back and picking up that ankle. That takes a lot of the drive off a takedown attempt.
Under a minute in the second. Tied at 2. Only takedown is Uva.
And of course that could loom huge if it goes in overtime, because those are the first points of the match.
And obviously, with a 2-2 match, if no one gets a takedown here, Uva's got a chance to score
Yes.
on the bottom. Nothing there. We go back to the center. 24 seconds left. You know, we talked to Dan Antonelli on our wrestling show, Vogue, about, you know, the transition for these Glassboro kids to come over to the Clayton gym, and he said it, you know, went pretty well.
Yes. Yes, it did. And they've done very well this year.
Which is a little interesting because Glassboro is the one with the wrestling tradition. They're the one making the move.
Right.
We're going to go to the third period, tied at 2. There's Alcai. As we look at Alcai again, Nick Micho. Right to his right and right behind Nick Micho, who wrestled here, what, around 1979, 80, 81, somewhere in that era, Vogue. Not to make young Nick, who's, I guess he likes being called young, feel old, but now teaching in the Mantua school system. Another blood tie.
You know, every number 1 seed has won so far tonight, so this is the first weight class that's not going to have a number 1 seed win a title.
And so much information in front of me, Vogue, so much. Big accomplishment for Uva, saying going to the state finals against West Deptford, or sectional states, I guess the state South Jersey semifinals against West Deptford. Glassboro program had been down for a few years, going to Clayton, the team doing a nice job. Actually pretty competitive against West Deptford in the playoffs.
Yes, they were.
And then most embarrassing or funniest moment when he left his singlet, forgot his singlet his freshman year. Hey.
That can make you scramble in a hurry.
Oh yeah. The Paulsburg crowd, the Emma's dad, you can see in the red, I think.
Yes, he is, clapping for his son.
We go start action here. We'll see if the Emma watched Zeislov how to work on top.
Well, and of course, what the Emma does a lot of, he does a lot of tilts. And I'm sure that Uva has that move down where he doesn't want to be caught in a tilt.
Of course, Dan Antonelli's assistant, Frank Daminger, former Paulsboro wrestler, probably knows what's going on in that Paulsboro gym still.
Yep, and he was the head coach at Glassboro and has moved over to help Dan Antonelli. Tell you what, we had some great coaches in District 29.
Earlier tonight, Paul Marina named the Coach of the Year in District 29. Antonelli could have got it. John Craig could have got it. There's a lot of guys. A lot of people were up for that.
A lot of great candidates this year.
There's the escape. We're I know it's now 3-2. Uva.
Now what Diema has to do, he has to put pressure on because he's got a minute and 15 seconds to try and solve.
Gotta watch.
Uva
Take down here.
went high, tried to step over, didn't work. He's got the switch in. If he doesn't keep the switch in, he's going to get called for a takedown. There it is.
5-2 Uva. A minute away from the district title.
Diema has to get out in a hurry.
And no stalls against either wrestler, so Uva can play it safe too.
Absolutely.
Both wrestlers listing gym as their favorite subject. Or, yeah, favorite subject.
Diema gets out, makes it 5-3. But now he's going to run out of time. Only 40 seconds to go. He desperately needs a takedown.
That's not running out of time, Vogue, but he's got to put pressure on Uva.
Yep.
There's the shot. We'll go back to the center. 25 seconds left.
Got to put the pressure on. Got in deep on a single. Trying to step forward. He's got to walk it around. Oh my, nice move by Uva.
12 seconds. See Uva peeking up at the clock. he's better off to stay right there, and that's what he's going to do. You see him looking up at the clock, and Nick Uva's going to win a district title for Clayton High School. 5-3 winner.
Fourth time the charm.
119-pound place winners to the podium.
Okay, now we're back at 130 pounds, Vogue. What do we have?
The number 1 seed, Wesley Miller from Clearview, won by a forfeit in his first match at 242 fall in the semifinals against Sean Bonner of West Deptford. The number 2 seed, Matt McCall of Deptford, 5-14 fall in his first match, and a very close 6-3 win over number 3 seed, Anthony Dawson of Paulsboro in the semifinals. Dawson came back with a 12-3 major decision over Bonner for third place to advance to Absegami.
And Wesley Miller in a 130-pound final last year had to go against that Anthony Rislow, which couldn't have been fun.
Again,
Anthony Rislow was in a class by himself last year.
Please see J&J Photography located at the end of the scorers table.
Anthony Rislow last year winning by a fall in the very first period, 124. So that gives Wes Miller an awful lot of incentive this year to come back and pay some paybacks back for what happened last year.
By the way, speaking more about 125, Donald Dennis, who was the number 1 seed, did come back, Vogue, with a 10-4 win in his consolation match against Brandon DiBartolo. As we take a look at some of the action from that match as we get back to action at 130 pounds.
So far, we started 189 pounds, and so far we have 3 champions from Paulsboro, and then 1 each from Clayton, Gateway, Gloucester Catholic, and Pittman.
Another blood time. We look at the coaching staff. Here's a pretty good wrestler in his own right, Vogue, there on the left for Clearview.
Mr. Van Brill.
Hans Van Bro and John Marinelli is the head coach.
John Marinelli, a longtime coach at Clearview.
Tending to Wesley Miller. Looks like it's a blood timeout. And, Matt McCall, coached by Joe Hollywood. Joe Hollywood, a former state champion in New Jersey.
Was an All-American here at Gloucester County College. Placed 3 times in the States when he was wrestling in his career for the Spartans.
Second, a first, and a third. 91, 7, and back then there could be ties. 2 ties.
Yep.
Knocked off Tony Williams of Ridge, 3-3, 2-2 criteria, first takedown to win his title in 1986. In the South Jersey Wrestling Hall of Fame.
Quite a few Hall of Famers in the building today. We saw Howie O'Neill sitting on that side earlier, the director of the state tournament now. He is in the Hall of Fame, and he is going into the New Jersey chapter of National Wrestling Hall. And Bob Frederick, one of the coaches in Paulsboro's illustrious history, now works part-time at Gloucester County College and former director of the state wrestling tournament.
Bob Frederick, what was he, like 251-6, something like that? Some astounding record.
He ended up a career with 48-1-1 down in North Carolina. He ended up his career with 299 wins and 7 losses. Amazing.
Yeah, I'm guessing he was worried he didn't have a strong team next year, so he left wrestling, huh?
He left Paul Marina, an undefeated team.
Yes, he did.
2 years in a row. Oh, my. Oh, my. What a scramble. Wesley Miller and Matt McCall going at it.
These two wrestled December 30th with Miller winning 7-2. So they have seen each other this year.
And of course, sometimes that can hurt if you've seen a wrestler earlier in the year, just like the close match that Zaslav and Rappahannock over here, and not as close in this championship final.
Yeah, Miller's only loss this year is Mike McCaucus from Hamilton. He's having a great year, and he went up to 135 and lost that match 14-5. His only loss this year.
We're 0-0 after one period. See the 1 point escape?
McCall did a nice job in the semis, Vogt. He was trailing, came back, won his match over Dawson.
Yes. Dawson only a sophomore, and bright future ahead of him. Continues to work hard.
McCall with the lead here, but
Little
Miller
spin
trying
behind.
for the takedown.
Oh my. Oh my.
Miller with the takedown, 2-1.
Great veterans move by Miller. Oh my. Neutral.
Senior against a sophomore. McCall was in the finals last year, had to go against Joe Duca. Only lost 6-0. That's, and I only say only because Duca was a state placement last year.
Yes. Now McCall is a tough wrestler. I've seen that throughout the tournament.
Tied at 2.
Oh my.
Miller, nice
nice
pick and
ankle pick.
Absolutely.
Oh my.
Look at McCall though, roll right through that thing.
That was one of the Greg Z. White moves from years ago when he did a forward roll right through. So there's still no takedown.
I remember that. I have no idea who you're talking about, Vogt.
Greg Z. White of Pennsville was the state champion, and he was a pole vaulter.
What era was this?
Oh, this was a long time ago.
I mean, what?
Back in the 70s.
Oh, okay, that's not too long. 79-80, I'm okay. I still got to look once in a while, but when you go before then, I need the book. I need the book. 13 seconds left, 2-2.
Actually, it was probably in the late 60s. He wrestled Alan Clinton at Paulsboro, and we tried to tell Alan that you got to fully protect your body because he does this forward roll. He's a pole vaulter. Sure enough, he got one against Alan Clinton. We're 2-2.
We take a look at the Deptford bench.
After 2 periods. Oh my. Wesley Miller's little sit out and gets an escape.
3-2. We talked about it, Vogt. I mean, it was 7-2, but that was in December.
Yes.
And, you know, you're a sophomore. You grow a lot during a season. I mean, that's just, you know, I mean, maturity-wise, too. I mean.
Yeah, and you constantly improve. And once you've wrestled someone, you know what the weak parts are and what you have to improve on. There's a stalling warning against McCall. Wow.
Yeah, Greg Z. White, Vogt won a title back in looks like 1966, a district title.
There you go.
Sure, he won more than one, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
Nice to have this book here. If I'm quiet, I'm looking up.
I had a great trip back then, going down to Appalachian
Oh, look
State.
out, look out,
Oh, my.
Takedown. Wow, under a minute left. Well, right at a minute. 4-3 McCall.
Wow.
He had a big third period in the semifinals earlier today.
That's what McCall has shown this tournament. He doesn't stop. He keeps battling.
Miller's goal to get out, get this thing knotted up.
Oh, my. And Miller trying to come out the side, trying to get a reversal. Great hips by McCall.
Wow.
Great hips.
35 seconds left. Just a sophomore. Sophomore going up against the senior. Miller looking to come out though. Pop his head. Nice job, McCall, knowing where he is in the mat.
125-pound place winners for the awards podium.
Deptford fans looking on.
125-pound place winners. Please report to the awards podium.
Matt McCall knows how to answer a sheet though, Vogt. His favorite subject, driver's ed. Favorite teacher, Joe Hollywood.
There you go. Oh my. Again, great hips. Miller battling.
Looking for a reversal.
Oh my. Oh
McCall
my.
has that leg. He's got the leg tied up. 5 seconds left. Can he hold on? Nice job by McCall.
Oh
He wins the
my.
match for 3.
Oh my.
How about that?
4-3 McCall.
Well, we had the top 2 seeds, but McCall lost earlier in the year, 7-2.
125-pound place
So
winners
Miller
for the
comes
awards
back, gets a little
podium, please.
revenge. We talked about Anthony Dawson, Vogt. Dawson finished 3rd. Tremendous performance in his consolation match. Just put on a clinic.
Yep.
Donald Dennis.
Let me take a look at some of the highlights of his win against Sean Bonner as McCall picks up a district title.
In 2nd place, from Paulsboro High School, Sean Diana. And your 2009 District 29 125-pound champion from Clayton, Nick Uva. Now wrestling the 135
5
pounds.
champions from 5 schools, 3 from Paulsboro.
There we go. As we
This
get
is
ready
West
for,
Deptford's first.
Drew Spector for
they get
West
ready at
Deptford,
135 pounds.
Clearview.
Drew Spector for West Deptford. Tommy Whitman of Clearview.
Drew Spector, the number 1 seed, advanced with a 248 fall over Steve Fillion of Gloucester Catholic. Then he advanced with a 7-2 win over Eric McMullen, the freshman from Paulsboro. Tommy Whitman, the number 2 seed from Clearview, advanced with a 3-1 win over Colin Bowell of Deptford, and then a tech fall over Anthony Phillips of Clayton, 16-1 in 6 minutes. McMullen earned a trip to the Region 8 tournament with a tech fall in 256, 18-2 over Phillips.
And not many people know of Spector, Vogt. Wrestled his freshman year at Holy Cross in Burlington County up in Delran. His only loss this year, Vogt, Luke Fedecco, 2-0 in the South Jersey Group 2 final.
And what a great wrestler Luke Fedecco has been this year. Spector was very, very impressive in a dual meet that I saw him in earlier this year, and he's been very impressive in this tournament.
Had 25 wins last year for Holy Cross, 25-11. Finished 3rd last year in the districts.
So far in the tournament, Paulsboro with 3 champions, 1 apiece from Deptford, Clayton, Gateway, Gloucester Catholic, and Pittman. Someone in this weight is going to be a first championship for their school. A lot of people crowding in here today.
And I like the new change. The heavyweights aren't the last match. It's 171.
Yeah, the drawing was done after the weigh-ins for the semifinal matches, and the draw out of the hat pulled 189.
I got to tell you, Vogt, I'm looking ahead at the state tournament. I'm hoping the last match at the state championships is 189. The kid from Boundbrook, Campolitano.
Campolitano.
And you got Leon White, you got Mac Mancuso, you got Becker from Bergen Catholic. So, I mean, I think that's, and I think they're at that weight class. But I think that would be the weight where we all wanted to see it be Winston last year to end the whole evening.
Yes.
I mean, that would be great to end it this year.
And what's a shame sometimes is when a real good wrestler like that has to wrestle early, some people see what they want to see and they just leave.
Yep.
2-0 after 1 period. Spector with the lead, the West Deptford wrestler.
Sophomore and a junior. Whitman only a junior.
There are a number of underclassmen competing in the District 29 tournament.
One of the Whitman's losses at 135 to Nick Uva early in the year, 7-2.
And of course, Uva earlier in this District 29 program, winning his first district title after placing 3 previous times.
Also lost to Anthony Dawson of Paulsboro, 5-1, and their dual meet with Paulsboro. Dawson's advancing. Here it's 2-0 Spector. Sophomore just getting the job done so far here, halfway through the match.
4-0 to lead. Very methodical effort. By the way, I told the coaches you would bring the information sheets with you to Absegami.
Did you?
As always, Coach Donato, we have to film that again.
Well, you know what, Coach? Let's hope I can make it. I'm going to be out Friday night. And I have to be at Absegami bright and early. We'll see.
Well, it certainly wouldn't be the same without you.
We'll get runners to hand the sheets out, though.
Yeah.
Just like Zeisloff, we see a clinic by Spector.
Well, that's what I've seen from Spector this year. He's a very methodical type wrestler. He has a less experienced wrestler. He can certainly put him away, but against a good wrestler, he's very methodical and very sure of himself out there.
4-0 lead, Spector, as we go to the third.
Oh my. See, they again, great hips, get out of trouble. 2-point reversal.
Now 6-0.
I guess that's just how you used to do it back in the old St. James days, right? Good hips.
Well, I did have good hips in high school. I think I have good hips now. I never lost a high school match. I'll tell you that right now. And I'm not one to brag. Let's just leave it at that and continue, Voj. 120 left. I tell you, a kid like Spector kind of lulls the crowd to sleep. He's so methodical.
Yes.
And that's a good sign for West Deptford. We talked about the job John Craig's done, but you know, combining some of these young kids with some of the veterans, and he's done a nice job. And he's looking forward to seeing Spector 2 more years.
Oh yeah, nice nucleus coming back, led by Spector and the younger Pasidi.
Dennis will be back next year. He's only a junior, so you know, you look at Paulsboro, they only lose 3 seniors.
Right.
So
that's
I mean,
true.
Scary.
And a couple of the kids, I understand, at Paulsboro are, you know, vastly improving 6th and 7th graders, so it bodes well for the future.
Under 40 seconds left.
Very, very methodical effort by Spector, the number 1 seed.
And Clearview sending 4 wrestlers to the final, so a nice job again by John Marinelli and his crew. Lambro and Marinelli in the corner for this match. Under 10 seconds left, so Spector, after finishing 3rd last year wrestling for Holy Cross, will win a district title.
And the final score, 6-0, a shutout, and the first District 29 champion this year for West Deptford.
130-pound place winners.
Do want to mention, Voj, Eric McMullen of Paulsboro wins by tech fall over Anthony Phillips. And Mick Mullen looked pretty good. I mean, there's a kid that's got 20 losses,
In
but
third place
he looked
at
good in the
130
consolations.
pounds from
He
Paulsboro High
looked very
School,
good.
Anthony
And as you
Dawson.
mentioned, he's a freshman. So, 3 more years of constant improvement by
In
Eric
second
McMullen.
place from
I think
Clearview
before
High
it's all
School,
over,
Wesley
you'll see him
Miller.
win 1 or 2 district titles.
And your District 29 130-pound champion from Deptford High School, Matt McCall. Now wrestling at 140 pounds from Paulsboro, Brandon Samuel. From West Deptford, Nicaragua.
Okay, we get ready for 140 pounds, Votes. What do we have?
Brandon Samuel, the number 1 seed from Paulsboro High School, won his opening bout with a fall 140 over Joe Amorosi of Gloucester Catholic, and had a very tough semifinal match, winning 4-2 over John Tedrick of Gateway. Nick Araldi, the number 2 seed, had a 228 fall in his first match and won 14-9 over Brett Carrero of Deptford in the semifinals. Brett Carrero won by fall to gain 3rd place and advance to Region 8.
Takedown for Samuel, 2-0.
Brandon Samuel, a district champion a year ago. Has nice height for this weight.
Tall and lean, short and stocky. What would you rather have?
Tall and lean. Plenty of leverage, plenty of balance. Easier to get the tilt with when you're taller. Of course, if you're a McIlvaine from Pittman, it makes no difference. You just bully people.
And he's got a great build. I mean, solid.
He was, I believe, he was the shortest 89-pounder in the room when they weighed in, and you could just see ripples of muscle.
Just like that picture of you back in 1958, Votes.
Well, I wouldn't go that far. Although I did have a nice crew cut.
Yes, you did. That was the style back then.
Yeah, and white buck shoes and varsity sweaters. Russ Menudo, the official in charge on the mat. As we mentioned earlier, a longtime Lenape High School coach. Succeeded
Sam
Sam
Evangelista.
Evangelista.
How's that?
Yeah,
Former
very
Paulsboro
good.
coach.
Very good.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you were going to ask me a question. I had to jump in because I noticed you weren't going to ask. It was a comma, not a question mark. You were continuing. I wanted to jump in there with some knowledge. 48 seconds left. Here in period number 1, Samuel of Paulsboro over Araldi, 2-0. Samuel won last year at 135 pounds, 3-1 winner over Andrew Hughes of Clearview.
Of course, the standing question among many Paulsboro followers is which Brandon Samuel is going to show up. Sometimes he looks very, very good. Other times he looks lethargic.
As Araldi goes back to the mat, 19 seconds left. That wasn't a question I heard anybody ask today, Vogue. But I guess it was a standing question. I just never heard him. No one brought it up to me. Got a caution here. Paul Marina obviously doesn't agree with that call.
Very frustrating to coaches sometimes when there are obvious cautions out there and they're not called the way you think you think you see them. Brandon Samuel lifting his opponent off the mat. A lot of times you try and get a Turk in on the legs when you bring the man back to the mat. So he can't come down feet first and get away.
Period's going to end 2-0. In the consolation match, Brent Carrero, a pin, won by pin, 533 over John Tedrick, as we take a look at some of the highlights from that consolation match. So Carrero advances and, with a 3rd place finish, and he'll be wrestling against Tuesday night at Absecon.
But every step they go, from this point on, it gets tougher and tougher.
2-1 now. What Araldi has to do is attack, and as a shorter wrestler going against, let's go the opposite direction here. What's Araldi have to do?
Well, Araldi's got to get motion out there and get in on the leg, just like he did there. Of course, if the opponent is on the sideline, it's very difficult to snap up that leg. So he's got to get motion in the middle of the mat, try and set his man up for a dive at the single leg, and then try to switch off to a double.
There he goes.
Right in on the single.
Good shot.
But see, there's the height advantage of Brandon Samuel, throwing that overhook in right away. You force the man's shoulder down with the overhook. What Samuels has to be very careful of, in a neutral position, not to back up out of that center circle. The best defense against the stalling call is to keep the pressure on.
Araldi again in on that leg.
Almost like Samuel is giving him the leg with the hopes of
Baiting
trying and stepping over.
Which he's trying to do right here, but he's got to watch. Nice job by Russ Menudo, preventing Araldi from flying into us.
Well, I knew you had him all the way.
I was going to say, you had me covered. 45 seconds left, period number 2. 2-1 lead, Brandon Samuels of Paulsboro going up against the junior, Nick Araldi from West Deptford, another one of those underclassmen that'll be back next year for Coach John Craig. Brandon Samuel involved in the Key Club, Voj. That's a big volunteer organization.
Yes.
Nice to see that kids involved in stuff like that, giving back.
Well, and a lot of dedication by Samuel over the last couple of years, too. It's wrestling, as you know, is tougher and tougher all the time. A lot of dedication is demanded, a lot of hard work.
I really don't know, Voj.
Well, I tell you about it all the time.
You tell me, I assume. When you never lose, you don't know how much work. You just take it for granted. Anyway, we're winding down here in the period, so Samuel has the 2-1 lead, and he'll have his choice to start the third period. That takedown in period number 1, the key. And we look at the West Deptford crowd. They're looking on. Jack Dean, we see him looking on. Lower right-hand side of the screen.
Place winners to the awards area, 135-pound place winners to the awards area.
I like how we asked the wrestlers to fill out these information sheets. I like funniest moment in high school for Nick Araldi is when Brad Holmes threw snowballs at Coach Craig. I wonder if John knew about that, or if not, he knows now. I remember.
Samuel with the escape, and now 3-1 lead. And here again, the best defense against the takedown is a constant offense.
You look at the record of Araldi from his freshman year to today, each year getting better, 15-14 as a freshman, 16-14 as a sophomore, and coming in now 19-5.
Constant improvement. Oh
Try
my.
and get that leg and then hook onto the ankle. Now, you can see Araldi putting on the pressure. Is Samuel doing enough? Or does he got to watch out that he could be hit for stalling?
Yeah, he's trying to defend himself, and you have to see that the first steps go backwards, and you're almost backing out of the circle. You're trying to tie up the hands. You have to start taking some shots.
So the answer is yes. You better start getting more aggressive, or he's going to get hit.
Yes.
The West Deptford crowd up in arms. They're wondering where the stall call is. There it is.
There's a warning.
There's a shot, and there's a takedown. We're tied at 3. Now he's going to try and use that size to reach around.
There, spins out of it.
4-3.
Gets the escape.
However,
Now,
he's been hit, so he's got to be aggressive.
He's got to keep the pressure on. Forward pressure.
Araldi in on that leg again. Keep him in bounds. He can get the takedown. He won't. 31 seconds left.
See that overhook saves him because of his height. If he gets that overhook in,
Nice job by Araldi. This
Yep.
is the defending district champ. He's going after him, right after him. Brown looking for a stalling again. He's got it. We got a tie match. Tie to 4. Araldi in again. Tries to spin around. We get the takedown. No. 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 I could see that coming, Coach, at the start of the period, not being aggressive.
Yep. Again, he can't back up from his opponent. Got to take his shots.
Now the pushing there, you got overtime. I was going to say, the pushing backwards, I don't think you can call stall there, can you?
No, not when you're pushing. The best way to get a stalling call there was to circle side to side. Yeah, he can get in here. It carries over.
Right.
He's got to take a shot.
We're looking further down the line. Remember, Samuel's got the first points in this match.
Yep.
However, as we said, Araldi is going for him the stall calls on Samuel.
He's stalking, and if he stalks, he can force a stall call. Well, all you can do is tell your wrestler what he should be doing in these situations. You have to circle. You have to take some shots.
.24 seconds left. Paul Marina, Dean Duca look on, a little concerned. Down to 11 seconds.
Here again, he's got a circle on the whistle. Oh, my.
Araldi in on that leg. Can he finish
my.
it? Can he finish it? Samuel tries to spin around. We got 3.7 seconds left. Araldi going right after him.
We're going into 2 30-second overtime periods. If a point is scored, they continue to wrestle. The only thing that'll stop it in these 30-second overtime periods is a fall.
Samuel starts on the bottom.
This is where you find out who wants it most.
Nice stand up trying to get the escape. Did they give him the one? Nope. Looked like Samuel there was trying to get the 2 instead of the 1.
Yeah, you really want to try and get the 1 if you can. There's the 1. But he can't back up. Just to keep that pressure on.
The kid takes a peek at the clock, sees 5 seconds. Now 4.2. We go back to the center.
All right, now Araldi will go down. 30-second. If Samuels rides him out, he wins 1-0. If Araldi gets out, they'll go to a 30-second tiebreaker.
Remember, he's got to work on top, too.
Yep. Got to take him to the mat. When he stands up, can't just hold on to him, because that'll tie it up.
Of course, if this should end tied, then he has his choice. Does he score first?
Yeah.
Araldi trying for a reversal. Can he get it? Can he get it? He got it! 5 seconds, he's going to win! That's it! Nick Araldi!
6-5 overtime.
come from behind win for the junior from West Deptford.
135-pound place winners. In third place from Paulsboro High School, Eric McMullen. And your District 29, 135-pound champion from West Deptford High School, Drew Spector. Now wrestling at 145 pounds from Gloucester Catholic, Anthony Valenti. From West Deptford, Chris Lucci.
Okay, we get ready for 145 pounds. We have Anthony Valenti of Gloucester Catholic, Chris Mucci of West Deptford.
Anthony Valenti of Gloucester Catholic, the number 1 seed, got a forfeit in his first match, won 7-3 in the semifinals against Joe Vahey of Gateway. Chris Mucci, the number 3 seed, won by a fall in 420 over Ben Smith of Deptford. Then he had a very tight match, beating Matt Cosgrove, the number 2 seed of Paulsboro, 3-2.
And there's the answer to one of our trivia questions,
Right
Mark
there.
White. We just had a shot of.
Yep.
10 seconds. And Valenti looked pretty impressive, Voj. And this is what we talked about. Kids we don't get to see that much during the dual meet season.
Absolutely. Cosgrove, by the way, came back and won 11-6 in the consolation and earned his right to go to Region 8.
Valenti a third and a third his last 2 years, his sophomore and junior years. 15 wins as a freshman, 25 as a sophomore, 26 last year, 30-4 this year.
When's the last time Gloucester Catholic had 2 champions in 1 year? That's a possibility in this match.
I'm going to look it up, Voj. Steve Felder and Jeff Wade in the corner for Gloucester Catholic in this match. They do a little rotating with their coaches. 1997, the last time, and they're in District 28. Jay Sutcliffe won at 135. Warren Lindsay won at heavyweight. Matt Minix won at 125, so they had 3 that year.
Wow.
Get back to that other match, Voj. The job Araldi did. He was 5 seconds away from forcing it to that sudden victory period.
Right, and just the tenaciousness is what you appreciate, because there's a wrestler with heart who is going to let everything hang out to try and get that win.
And we'll be back again next year as just a junior.
Yes, and that's such a big building block for your senior year, to know you were a champion as a junior.
Scoreless so far. We've wrestled 1:35 into the first period. Chris Mucci of West Deptford, Anthony Valenti of Gloucester Catholic. It's a stall warning against West Deptford. And I know this is probably going to be something I should know the answer to, but why are the coaches for West Deptford sitting where the red chairs are, even though the wrestler has a green anklet, and the Gloucester Catholic coaches are sitting where the green chairs are when their kid has a red anklet?
Well, because when the officials put the anklets on, they should look at the corners and put the matching anklets on the corner. West Deptford has a green uniform, so the officials automatically give him the green anklet. Right. So the coaches really should switch corners. The green should be in the green corner, the red in the red corner. Tom Reynolds, Chris Mays did not pick it up. They should have made the coaches switch corners.
Scoreless here in the second. Valenti on top.
One thing you see by the West Deptford wrestlers, they're non-stop out there.
It's a point on the escape, 1-0. Did he give it to him? Yep. Yelling at something. I'm not sure what it was. Maybe the clock. I don't know.
I think they were yelling about why did he get the point. The official showed an escape as they went out of bounds.
I don't think the West Effort people will be complaining about the point, or not, the point was on the board. Okay.
Yeah. When they went out of bounds, Valente.
Let me put my glasses on and try and see who's operating that scoreboard, Voj. It's that Mark Voj thing. I'm sure he had it all the time, all the way.
All the way.
Mucci with the 1-0 lead. Valente taking the shot as they go out. I like these forms Mucci filled out, Voj. Funniest moment in high school, he said, my twin brother and me switched classes for the day. None of our teachers called on, but then Coach Layton finally caught us. Mucci finished second last year at 140 pounds. Losing 8-0 to Matt Kapler of Deptford, so he's in the final for the second year. Came in with 56 wins.
Not a glamorous record this year, but wrestling up and down, I believe, in the lineup.
Stall warning, and there's a point. We're tied at 1.
Mucci coming in this year 11-6, entering the tournament as the number 3 seed. So now 13-6, he's in the finals. Valente with 30 wins entering the finals.
Better the third period, tied at 1.
140-pound place winners for the awards area.
Anthony Valente, third in the districts the last 2 years, has 96 career wins. So I know his goal is probably to get to 100. It's going to be tough when you get to the regions.
Yeah, if you win today, you have 97, and then you got to really hope you can capture the competition there in order to get to 100.
Now 2-1. Valente leads.
Mucci had to watch his teammate in the previous match get a very late takedown in overtime to win, so you're always reaching, you're always trying.
Want to mention that Matt Cosgrove picked up a third place finish. Nice job in his semifinal match, winning 11-6. So Matt Cosgrove, the sophomore from Paulsboro. Nice job this year by him. Then he'll go to Absegami and wrestle on Tuesday night. Back to this action, 2-1 lead.
Oh my!
Mucci has a little bit of trouble.
Being very tenacious out there, staying right with it. Out of bounds they go. Out of bounds. Good call. Good call. Mucci is showing a lot of spunk now.
Well, he's got to be aggressive. He's been hit for stalling,
and he's losing.
And he's losing. So yeah.
He has a height advantage on Valente too. Enables him to get on that single leg. Try and wrap it up. Lift it up.
Gonna get the takedown.
Comes the takedown. Here it comes. Here it comes. There's the 2.
Another late point. 15 seconds left. 3-2 lead Mucci.
Same thing we saw in the previous weight class.
Couple seniors battling it out here. Valente needs to get out in the 10 seconds where we have another championship for West Deptford. It'll be like the third in a row, something like that. 3 out of 4.
Yep. That's a stall.
And that's it, Lucci wins. 3-2. Chris Mucci with the win over Anthony Valente, Gloucester Catholic.
And as you mentioned, a third consecutive district championship for West Deptford.
140 pounds to the awards area, 140 pounds. 140 pounds, third place finisher from Deptford High School, Brett Ferreira. Second place from Paulsboro High School, Brandon Samuel. And the 2009 District 29 140-pound champion from West Deptford High School, Victor Rowley.
152 pounds, Voj. What do we have?
We have 2 surprise wrestlers at this weight class. Number 1 is Bruce Martell, the number 5 seed, who knocked off Nick Capelli of Pittman, the number 4 seed, 2-1 in 3 overtimes in the quarterfinal, and then he knocked off top-seeded Brian Lewis of West Deptford, the 5:32 fall in the semis. Anthony Sika of Clearview, the number 2 seed, so it's no surprise that he's there. He won by a technical fall over Hank McLaughlin of Gloucester Catholic, and then he won 3-1 over John Sparicio of Clayton.
Should get a takedown here, and he got it. By the way, with those 3 district titles so far tonight, West Deptford is up to 77 in the school's history. Had a couple last year, Brian Lewis and Jack Flannery. 3 tonight.
And Brian Lewis, who won a title last year, came back tonight and captured 3rd place with a 135 fall over Sparicio during his trip to Apsagami.
Sika wrestled Cosgrove in the dual meet and beat him 6-5. And Paulsboro wrestled Clearview, so these 2 did not wrestle. Martell won by fall over Sean Layton. So
Martell showed a lot of heart in the semifinal match against a returning district champion and battled back to put himself in a position where he eventually got the fall.
on paper, coming in 11 wins and 14 losses into a district final, so you're obviously the underdog. But he pulled off one upset already.
Yeah, actually two, because he knocked off the number 4 seed, then he knocked off the number 1 seed. It becomes hard at this level.
Sika trying to hold on and take a 2-0 lead into the second period. Just 5 seconds left. Anthony Sika, involved in a varsity club, student council, National Honor Society, favorite subject math, least favorite, Voj, this is going to disappoint you. English.
Oh, no.
Weren't you a former English teacher?
Absolutely. And I had a lot of loquacious students.
And by the way, so you'll like this though. I got the loquacious. History and English, the favorite subjects of Martell. Martell on top to start the second.
Clearview, the only District 29 team right now without an individual champion, so there's their opportunity at this weight class.
Escaped. Now 3-0, Sika. know, Vogt, talk about a kid that's turned her career around. Look at Anthony Sika. When you look at his record, his freshman year, 9 wins, 19 losses. Sophomore, 9 and 16. Last year, 15 and 19. So this guy's coming in 57 and 60 in his career, but turned it around his senior year, 24 and 6.
That's staying with the program, because you have 3 consecutive years of losing records, and just stay with it and get better and better, and now you see it all come to fruition this year. Another testament to how much hard work goes into being a successful wrestler.
As far as Martel, sometimes can you use all your energy up in your semifinal match?
Oh,
and
there's
you
no,
kind of,
yeah,
you know.
There's no question. I mean, you get the adrenaline flowing, and you come in your very first match, and you're seeded number 5, so you're a slight underdog in the first match. But then when you're number 5 and you're going against number 1, that's a huge disadvantage. And I thought he expended a lot of energy in winning that match. And now you're asking him to come into against a number 2 seed who entered this bout with a 24 and 6 record.
Sika trying to spin around, get a late takedown here in the second period. He's up 3-0 already. Looks like clock's going to run out on him now. We're going to go to the, Martel almost got the takedown, couldn't get that head out.
Again, that overhook saved him.
145-pound place winners for the awards area. 145-pound place winners.
We're moving right along, Vogt. After this, just 2 more to go. We've only wrestled about an hour, not even. Almost like there was a caution
false
there.
start, never
Did
called.
you see that? I thought it was me.
Yep.
Well, you know the old saying, 4 eyes are better than 2.
Well, and sometimes when officials get to this point in the program, they become fatigued and they miss things that they should catch.
Martel trying to make something happen from the bottom.
Martel's got to be careful not to get his back exposed to the mat. Got to keep his head up off the mat and explode into a move. There's the neutral.
Now 3-1. He's got to be aggressive now. He needs 2 to tie this match. You know, you talked about Brian Lewis. We'll take a look at his pin at 152. That pin for Brian Lewis after getting beaten in the semis enables him to go to the to Absagami to advance as we take a look now at
That's why the
Paul Marino.
consolation matches become kind of important.
Martel trying to get that leg for the takedown. Nice job. You see that?
There's the overhook.
Yep.
Martel got in on the legs, but by reaching back with that overhook, you stop that move.
Hey, Vogt, what's a term a wrestler hates to hear? One of the best wrestlers ever not to win a state title. Just happens to be next to Paul Marino. Todd Palmisano, former wrestler at Brick Memorial, the assistant for Paulsboro in this match. What a great wrestler he was.
Oh, outstanding wrestler. Placed in the States 3 times, 3-time district champion, former Region 6 champion, wrestled in college. And you know, you can bring all that knowledge to the wrestling room, but it still takes the individual to want to do the things they're demanding of them.
Absolutely. 20 seconds left. Sika with the 3-1 lead. Martel trying to force overtime, but Sika's going to spin around. Looks like he's going to get the takedown. He does. And it's a 5-1 lead, so now all 8 schools represented in District 29 will have won a title. There's the escape final, 5-2, Sika of Cleveland.
£145 place winner. The 145-pound place winners in 3rd place from Paulsboro, Matt Cosgrove. From Gloucester Catholic in second place, Anthony Valente. And your 2009 District 29 champion from West Deptford High School, Chris Nucci. Now wrestling at 160 pounds.
As we take a look at the crowd, Moj, we get ready for 160 pounds. Tell us who's out there at 160.
At 160 pounds, the number 1 seed, Rob Loeffler, a returning champion from Deptford, advanced with a forfeit win in his first match and a 5:53 fall in the semifinals against Zach Kyer of Pittman. His opponent, the number 2 seed, Tyler McCord of Clayton. McCord had a forfeit win in his first match and won 5-2 against Josh Kerr of West Deptford. Kerr come back with a technical fall over Kyer for 3rd place to advance to Region 8.
A lot of the Clearview contingency leaving, not sticking around for the finals. Final 2 matches, I should say. And these are 2 wrestlers, another thing, Voj, 2 wrestlers that we don't get to see having pretty good years.
Without a doubt. Tyler McCord comes into this bout with a 26-2 record. Rob Loeffler, the returning champion, comes into the bout with an 18-3 record.
Loeffler's losses, 2 to Hallie Graber from Woodstown, who's having a pretty good year.
Outstanding year so far.
And Sparaccio from Clayton, so we won't be looking at Sparaccio. We have a little timeout. Give us a chance to catch our breath. Talk about Clearview, Voj, that championship by Clearview, their 26th district championship. Ryan Layton at 125 pounds last year won a title for them. Go back at some of those names. Greg Van Brill, former state champion. Kevin Van Brill, a 3-time champion. Rob Becker, whose brother won a state title.
Very easily even distribution of individual champions so far. Every school represented, as you mentioned earlier. Paulsboro 3, West Deptford with 3. Clearview, Deptford, Clayton, Gateway, Gloucester Catholic, and Pittman with 1 apiece.
Oh, did you see? No score as we're heading into the 2nd period. Tyler McCord and Rob Loeffler. And 2 pretty good wrestlers. McCord 26-2, Loeffler 18-3. And Clayton already winning a title tonight. Nick Uva, a wrestler who wrestled at Glassboro last year, has a championship.
One-point escape for the Deptford wrestler.
Loeffler. Loeffler wrestled Josh Kerr last year and beat him 5-4
Oh my.
in the final.
Spin behind takedown.
2-1 McCord. You know, you take a look at the deep wrestling history of Deptford. I mean, considering that school's had a lot of big name wrestlers, Hollywood, Vallecos, 42 district champions. Anthony Rislow winning a couple.
One-point escape, and now we're tied at 2-2.
Deptford had 3 champs last year, Village. We mentioned Loeffler, Kapler, Rislow.
One already this year and trying for a second one now.
All the action here in the second period after a scoreless first.
Deptford wrestler with a Spartan emblem on the back.
Love those Spartans, Village. Love those Spartans. I was a Spartan.
Yeah, but you were a green Spartan.
St. James, yeah. Just going to end there. Let people think about it.
Uh-oh. Oh, my.
Nobody's got anything there.
Nice countering move there to avoid the
How
takedown.
about McCall, though, coming right back in, not giving up on the move. Not waiting for the whistle to blow.
Putting the pressure on constantly.
By the way, Josh Kerr with a 18-1 win in the consolation. So coming back for Kerr after losing in the semifinals with an 18-1 win. He put on a clinic. Had to be a little disappointed making it to the finals last year and then getting beat this year in the semis.
I don't think there's any doubt about it. Goes back in, as you mentioned, gets the tech fall 18-1 and 528. Threw a lot of moves out in that bout.
Got some blood time going on right here. Tyler McCord in the video club, business club, student council. Here's his favorite subject, Voj, creative crafts.
Wow.
We didn't offer that one at St. James. His favorite teacher, Mr. Lucas. I know Mr. Lucas. Dowminger and Antonelli in the corner for Clayton. Hollywood and Leap for Deptford. Time winding down here in the second period. And 2-2 as we head to the third.
152-pound award winners to the award area. 152-pound place winners.
Third period, and Tyler McCord will be on the mat.
I'm not going to assume letting go. It looks like he's going to let him up. Yep. Going to start neutral, so McCord will take the 3-2 lead.
Loeffler gives him the automatic escape. Now he's got to put the pressure on, try and come up with a takedown.
Still 3-2. McCord.
Say, Tyler McCord has been very impressive.
Loeffler just a junior, so he's a champ last year as a sophomore.
Of course, one of the things when you're a champ as a sophomore, you're always looking for two repeats to try and get 3 championships. Tyler McCord has other ideas. Oh my.
And he'll get a takedown. Leads now 5-2. There's the escape, 5-3 now, McCord.
McCord has no choice but to start putting the pressure on. Desperately needs a takedown.
Absolutely. That's a caution.
Time is running out for Rob Loeffler. He's down by 2. See, that's the best offense out right now. Just keep the pressure on. Keep going forward. See, McCord has the lead, but keeps the pressure on.
It's also confidence.
Yes.
I mean, he's been out there in the match 5.5 minutes. He knows what's working for him.
Rob Loeffler trying to sit through and spin, and I don't know if it's going to work. He's trying.
5 seconds.
Oh, my.
He's got the takedown. We got overtime. We have overtime. It looked like he had the leg, though, no?
No. Once he hooked that other leg in, the right leg, that made the control.
Okay.
5-5.
152 pounds.
Got an injury or blood time again. They're calling blood time. So we got an overtime right here, Voch.
And that takedown was engineered with just seconds remaining on the clock.
Second time we saw that. So, Voch, what is it? Baltimore clinched the team title.
Yes.
Is that like 38 out of the last 40 district titles they've won?
It's a lot. They had won 10 in a row after Kingsway had defeated them, and I think 26 in a row before that. Lost last year to West Deptford. They reclaimed it this year. With one bout to go, they have 237 points. West Deptford 202.5.
Everybody agrees with me, Voch. If you look around the crowd, they're fanning themselves like it's hot in this gym. For, you know, I guess young and middle-aged people.
Yeah, I think with the coldness the last couple of days outside, I guess they thought they put the heaters up a little bit.
It's February.
It is February. It's a nice month.
It's supposed to be cold.
Yeah. My birthday this month.
I know. February 7th, Voch. Happy birthday. We'll have to go do lunch this week if I have time. I'll be off on Wednesday away, taking my mom into the city.
I'll be down in Absegami for the seating meeting.
That's New York City, by the way.
New York City?
I don't mess around. It's my mom.
Wow.
I only have one.
You gonna be taking me to the city one of these days? I know. Sewell City.
Sewell City. I'll meet you in Atlantic City in a couple of weeks.
Or Gloucester City.
I'll take you. Hey, Atlantic City. I'll meet you there. 2 weeks. I'll meet you on the streets in Atlantic City. I'll pull a little Bruce Springsteen for you. Well, when we left you last, Voch, we're tied. 1 minute overtime.
Yes.
Rob Loeffler doesn't want to give up defending title. Give up that crown too easily. Battled back.
Pulled out the last second.
There we go. Let's see if McCord stays on the offensive. He was doing that in the third period.
Yeah, and he was doing a good job of it.
Until the end.
We're 5-5 after regulation. This is a sudden victory. So if somebody gets a point in this period, the match is over.
Now Loeffler got his chance to get the leg.
Oh, my.
McCord trying to hold on for
Oh,
dear
my.
life.
All he's going to do is walk around.
There's the
Oh,
takedown.
my.
It's over. How about that? Wrestling till the end. 43rd district champion in Deptford history.
Oh, brother.
7-5 overtime win for Loeffler of Deptford. McCord so close, Voch. So as a junior, 2 titles for Loeffler. Next year he'll be going for 3. And I'm looking here, Voch.
152 pounds, third place winner from West
Jerry
Deptford High
Vallejo.
School, Brian Lewis.
And Vince Lipsy, it looks like.
The only
Wow.
three-timers in
Yeah.
Deptford history.
I mean, considering you got
From Paulsboro High
Griswold
School
and
in
Hollywood.
second
Now,
place,
Joe Hollywood was a
Bruce
three-timer.
Yeah.
Martell. And your 2009 District 29 152-pound champion from Clearview High School, Anthony Sika. Now wrestling at 171 pounds from Paulsboro, Jimmy Gentile. From West Deptford, Matt Smith.
Okay, we get ready for 171 pounds. Jimmy Gentile of Paulsboro, the number 1 seed, against Matt Smith of West Deptford.
The final bout of District 29 in 2009. Jimmy Gentile, the number 1 seed, had a 217 fall in his first bout, a 241 fall in his second bout. The second one against Walt Lenkowski of Clearview. Matt Smith, the number 3 seed, advanced with a 553 fall in his first bout, and then he won by injury default over Cameron Argood of Gateway in the semifinals. That injury default coming at 3 minutes and 18 seconds. Lenkowski advanced to Absagami by a default win over Argood, who had a shoulder problem and is facing surgery, and from what I understand.
Injured both shoulders this year, huh, Boach?
Yes, injured one earlier and then injured another one today, and the opposite shoulder too, by the way.
Oh, these two guys wrestled, Boach, not too long ago, January 30th, a Tech Fall win, 19-4 for Gentile, and he already has a 2-0 lead.
Gentile on a mission. He's won before, he knows the feeling. A lot of people bailed out before this match.
Should have stuck around. Never know. Two-one lead Gentile here in the first.
Gentile using a freestyle start, giving up the escape.
Looking for his 3rd district title, finished 3rd in regions last year.
2-point takedown, and he's getting a back count. Oh my. Good roll through by Smith. 3-point near fall and a 1-point escape.
Now 7-2. Gentiles both losses coming in overtime this year. And another takedown right to his back.
Oh my. Oh my.
That's it, Coach. Gentile with the fall.
1 minute, 32 seconds.
132.
Case winners to the
Wraps it up. Paulsboro just adds to their team point total.
Come on the mat.
How many team points did they end up with, Voach?
243 by my calculations. Got 6 points for that pin. So 243 for Paulsboro, 202.5 for West Deptford, 3rd for Clearview, 107, 4th for Deptford, 101, and then in order, Clayton, Gateway, Gloucester Catholic, and Pittman. Not official,
Right.
by my calculations.
But
And math was my worst subject.
Sure. And we talked about balance. You go through the district champs by schools and everybody won, right?
Absolutely. Everybody had, Paulsboro had 4, West Deptford had 3, Deptford had 2, Clearview, Clayton, Gateway, Gloucester Catholic, and Pittman each had 1 champion.
Well, for John Vogening, I'm John Mondell, the entire crew from Comcast and VIP Productions. We'll see you next time here on Channel 5.